Hi everyone, we are sorry that you couldn't attend our Canvas training, or maybe you were able to come and we just like to welcome you back and commend you for reviewing and trying to learn Canvas the best that you can. I've decided to make a screencast that's going to cover everything that I'm talking about at the Canvas training nights and hopefully give you a resource that you can come to often just in case you forget how to use it. I promise you that we're not throwing your students to the wolves. They will be trained in the classroom as well. But as parents, I know you want to be involved, and we want you to be involved as well and make sure that you feel comfortable using Canvas. So I kind of typed up a quick overview of what I would like to cover in this screencast. I will say that there's going to be multiple links. My screencast only allows me to record for so long. So please look for part 2 and possibly part 3 afterwards. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what Canvas actually is, how we access Canvas, what is the dashboard used for. We're going to talk about what the Canvas homepage is, and then I'll show you some practice assignments that I'm going to allow you guys to do. So first of all, what is Canvas? Canvas is an online submission program that Canyon School District uses. It is used currently in grades 6 through 12th, but they're looking to bring it into the elementary schools. It is a process, or let me rephrase that, it's a program that allows teachers to create assignments, tests, and quizzes, and discussion boards for students to interact with online. Rather than turning in hard copy papers and doing a lot of shuffling, this program allows students to submit electronically to their teacher. It also allows the teacher to grade electronically. This process allows for communication between student and teacher and parents to be a lot more smoother and quicker and more efficient, and also giving students the technology background that is needed for our world and our society today. A lot of students always ask me, why do we need to use Canvas at such a young age? I'm a firm believer that 6th grade is kind of the pivotal point for a lot of students. 6th grade is the year that we really begin learning and training and developing our study habits, our technology skills, our writing skills, and our reading skills that are going to benefit us and be with us for the rest of our lives. Canvas is an online program that not just Canyon School District uses, but several universities use it, or something similar to it, such as Blackboard or another program of its likes. But most universities, if you take a class online, will use a program similar to Canvas, if not Canvas itself. Okay, so now that we know what Canvas is, let's go ahead and look at how to access it and kind of play around with it and see how cool it is. So the best way, there's 2 ways to access Canvas. One, you can simply go to, and I'm going to type it here so that you guys can see it. Okay, so you can simply go to www.canyons.instructure.com. Now, when you do this particular website, please make sure that you have the Canyons logo. Okay, if you don't, you are going to be trying to log on to maybe Arkansas State University's Canvas page or Weber State University's Canvas page or whoever's Canvas page. If it doesn't have that logo, and it will say that your username and password doesn't work. So make sure that if you go directly through this website that you have the little blue Canyons logo. It looks like mountains and it says Canyons. However, for my students, I particularly have them usually just go to Draper Park's website. Okay, and there's a student tab. And I'm going to show you that. Okay, so they go here and there's a student tab, and the very first tab that they have is Canvas, and so they can go ahead and click that and it will take them there. Now I'm already logged on to my Canvas page, and so it is there. At home they may remain logged in and it just always brings them there. At school they'll always have to log in. Now, I just heard gasp and complaints and concerns and, oh no, I have to log into something and I don't know a login information. The great thing is that you guys actually have your login information already. You've been using it since elementary school. When you log onto a computer in Canyon School District, you're using the same login information that you are going to use for Canvas as well. So for Canyon School District, especially if you're new here, the login information is for your username. It is the first letter of your first name, plus the first 3 letters of your last name, and the last 4 digits of your student number or your lunch number. Okay, so for example, my name is Samantha Burton, and let's say my student number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My username would be the first letter of my first name, so S, the first 3 letters of my last name, which is BUR, and then the last 4 digits of my student number, which is 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be my username to get into Canvas. My password is district given. It is 2 random words and a number put together. And unless you've changed your password, it's 2 words and a number put together. Now, you should be able, I'm under the impression that students are able to see this on Skyward. But if you're unable to see that, please contact like your English teacher or maybe your science or social studies teacher, and they can log on to Skyward and tell you. Also, I want to preface this. Your English teachers will be sitting down with you in class and having you fill out a form, a little paper that's going to be glued into your planner on orientation day. This planner will have all of your login information and the things that I'm showing you here in the front cover. And we are actually going to write in your username and password to Canvas right there inside your planner on orientation day or the first day of school. We'll figure it out when we actually get to it. The goal is orientation day. Okay, so that's how we log on. Once you're logged on to Canvas, and I'm going to go ahead and move this away and just kind of show you guys Canvas itself now. Okay, so when you log on, you're going to see a screen that looks similar to mine. It's going to look just a little bit different because we're enrolled in different classes. But for the most part, it's going to look like this. We call it this the dashboard. Okay, the Canvas dashboard is like a home page of itself. Here, you're going to notice your different classes that you're enrolled in. It's going to say like science and math and English and social studies. Maybe you're in the Chinese immersion or the French immersion program. Maybe you're in an art class or a computer class or even maybe choir. Each teacher who has a Canvas setup is going to have a screen like this. And when you log on, you're going to see a box with their information, their class, that you can click on. And that's how you're going to get to your classes. I want to talk about 2 other things on this dashboard before we move on. On the right-hand side, you're going to notice a to-do list. Now, the first reaction I have for students is, I got to look here. This is going to tell me everything I need to know. And as a teacher, I try really hard to kind of train my students and teach them not to actually use this side of their screen. The reason why, especially this to-do list, most people would say, hey, that's great. It lists out all the assignments I need to do. I can check them off and everything will be good to go. In theory, that's great. But in education, things don't always work that way. We as teachers upload assignments and we create these open dates. So the day that the assignment's going to be available to our students. And then we also create due dates. And sometimes it will list both of those on this to-do list. So there's an error. There's a flaw there, right? Another thing is maybe we're going to take a quiz. And you see the quiz over here. And you're like, okay, we're taking it this day. And so in your mind, you're thinking you're taking it Wednesday. But in class, your teacher says, do you know what, guys? You're really not ready for this quiz. We're going to take a couple more days and do some more practice. And so I'm going to move the quiz. Instead of Wednesday, we're going to take it on Monday. As a teacher, I have that right. I have that right to benefit my students and help them become better students and make sure that they're prepared for their quizzes. When I do that, though, Canvas still says that it's due on that particular day. Please be aware that this to-do date is nothing but when I uploaded it and when I set it to open. your actual due dates are going to come from your calendar and your planner that we discuss in class. Okay, so I always just put a big X over here and say, please don't pay attention to this side of the screen. It just makes life easier. There's much simpler ways of finding information than looking on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'll show you those in just a minute. The other thing that I want to show you on this dashboard is your left-hand side. I'm going to talk about these different little links. I think most of them are there for you guys. There might be a couple that are missing just because I'm on a teacher mode. So you probably won't have the Commons tab, but I think you have all the others. This first one is your Account tab. And you can upload a picture of yourself and make it your own Canvas page. But this particular one is how you log out. We'll simply click the log out button when we're done. But there's these settings right here. Specifically the notification one I want to draw your attention to. As parents and as students, you can set up your notifications. The great thing about Canvas is it can be accessed not only on a computer, but your cell phone, on your iPad, anywhere that you want to download that app to, you can. And these notifications, you can actually set up that it will email you when there's due dates coming up, or if there's been any changes, or if your teacher's graded an assignment. It will notify you if your teacher's emailed you on Canvas. It will email parents when quizzes are coming up. It will text you and say, hey, just a reminder, you've got a quiz coming up. You might want to study. Those kind of things. And that's up to you how you set that up. If you don't want the emails or the text messages, then go in and make sure they're turned off. Okay. The other one is this. So the next one, this is the dashboard button, and it will just always take you back to this screen. The next one is courses. Instead of seeing the boxes, if you would prefer to see it in a list, you can, and you can click on the class that you want. There's a calendar. Every time that a teacher uploads an assignment, you will see that it opens here and you can see the assignment on the calendar. Okay, that's a good way, and it will color code for your different classes. And then there's also an inbox. This is a great way to communicate with your teachers, parents and students alike. I want to show you how to actually do it because it's a little bit different than a normal email. So you'll click over here and it will say compose a new message. You'll select the course that you want to email. So maybe you want to email your English teacher. So you would go down and you would find your English class. You're going to type in your teacher's name. Okay, and you can just put in their last name, and it's going to pull up their name, and you click on it, and it's going to put that there. Please always put a subject so that we as teachers know kind of what the message is about. So maybe concern for quiz score. Okay, and then down here I would type my message. Maybe I would say, Miss Burton, when can, actually I would not say when can I, because my students will already know when they can. Miss Burton, can I come in after school tomorrow to retake the plot quiz? Thanks, John, or whoever you are. Okay, and then you would hit send, and that email is going to come to your teacher that you chose, and they'll be able to reply back to you and communicate with you. And as parents, you'll be able to communicate with us that way as well, besides using our email address. Okay, so that is the dashboard. Pretty simple, pretty easy going, and not too difficult. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and click on a class, show you what Canvas looks like, how to upload assignments, how to do discussions, how to take a quiz, all of that fun stuff. So check out the next video to get all of that information.